Hello, guys. Thank you so much for visiting our YouTube channel. This is your host, Dr. Brian Myler. I'm a medical doctor by profession, specialized in psychiatry. And so today we are continuing with a series of universities in Australia, universities with scholarships that are available for MPhil and Ph.D. Programs. This time around, we are focusing on the University of Queensland. But before that, I would like to thank all those that have already subscribed to our YouTube channel. It is because of you that this YouTube channel exists. And remember, at the BMIK TV, we actually care. And this is why we would like to continue sharing opportunities such as the ones that we are already sharing on our YouTube channel. We share opportunities in terms of scholarships and professional development opportunities, which you, our subscribers, can actually take advantage of. And if you are coming here for the first time and such content, appeals to your interest, we would encourage you to stick around within the community by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And once you've subscribed, go a step further by clicking that bell icon so that you select all notifications so that when we upload videos of this nature, you will be amongst the first few to be notified. And so without further ado, we will continue looking at the scholarships that are available at the University of Queensland in Australia. And so to start, you can actually see we are on the page for Find a Scholarship. And on here, we have got 48 results of scholarships that are available for postgraduate research programs. That is the MPhil program as well as PhD programs. And guys, the beauty with these scholarships are that you are being given a living stipend, that actually helps cover your living costs, a generous living stipend, friends. And once you are given that living stipend, then they are actually going a step further and actually giving you full tuition coverage at this university. And so in that way, your scholarship becomes, or your program becomes fully funded. And so let me just take you through some of these scholarships so that we see the value. Yeah, but before that, not to worry, I'll be able to actually share this link in the description box where there are all these different scholarships. These scholarships, some of them whose deadline are within the month of December, others within the month of January, while as others within the month of February. And you can see these pages here. So you can actually explore this page at your own time. And so I've chosen to just look at a few of these scholarships. So the first one is what is called the earmarked scholarship scheme to support category 1 project grants. So you can actually see that this actually covers living stipend and tuition fees. And the living stipend is in the amount of 32,192, and this is actually tax free, and your tuition is covered. Your health insurance is also covered, and then you can actually see that this actually goes on for a duration of 3.5 years with a possibility of 1 year extension. And this is actually covering all study areas, friends. And so you have no excuse but to take advantage of these opportunities that are coming. And so if you want to read further about the scholarship, you can actually see here that there's more details about the scholarship. And then in terms of eligibility requirements, you basically need to click here and look at the requirements for a Doctor of Philosophy program at the University of Queensland. And in terms of the application process, really, is that you want to first of all determine your eligibility for the projects. Okay, so choose an eligible project. And once you have chosen the eligible project, so here, you click there, you choose the eligible project, and then you contact the project supervisor to discuss your interest in that particular project, and then you'll be able to actually determine your suitability for that program. And once you've done that step, then you can actually go on to prepare the documentation and then submit your application for the project. But for this particular one, you will notice that the research quotas have been divided into four for the for the University of Queensland. And so there's quarter one, which actually begins in January and closes in March. Then there's quarter two, which actually begins in April and closes in June. And then there's the last one, which begins in October and closes in December. And you are basically advised to actually apply 12 weeks before the commencement date. And so you want to basically pay attention. And so remember, first you need to go and look at the projects that are available for this particular scholarship, and then determine your eligibility for that particular project, and then contact the supervisor who is working on that particular project, and then from there you can actually proceed with the application. So that's like the first scholarship, and it's covering all study areas. And then there's this one, which is called the Center for Bioplastics PhD Scholarship. And this one is actually covering study areas from the arts, humanities and social sciences, business and economics, engineering, environment science, and mathematics. And again, friends, this actually is open to domestic students and international students. And the scholarship is actually available for a period of 3.5 years, and it's covering living stipend, tuition fees, and this is a generous stipend, friends, of $34,938 per annum. And so this is basically something that you want to look at, and you want to read much more information about the scholarship. And these are actually the supervisors that are basically available for this particular project. And so you can actually see for this one, they have actually already highlighted the projects that are covered in this particular scholarship. And then they've also highlighted the advisors and the unit that is actually enrolling. So you can actually see that there's scope chemical engineering there, and the project here is development of thin high barrier packaging films. So basically, these are things that you can actually go through at your own time to actually look at which project speaks to your interest, and then from there you can actually contact the supervisor to determine your suitability for the project before you can actually submit an application. So this is basically how to apply, and these are things that you can actually go through at your own time. There's another scholarship here, friends, and this one is the University of Queensland research program, which is of course being run together with another university, which is India Institute of Technology. And so they are basically doing multidisciplinary projects. And so the beauty with this particular scholarship is that you have the opportunity of spending your studies in two different universities, and you actually get to benefit from the approach by each of the universities to actually enhance your academics. And not only that, friends, you will be able to develop networks from two different research universities. And so this is the scholarship, and it's actually being given for a period of 4 years, and it's covering all study areas. And the value for this one varies, and it depends on where the student commences their PhD program from. So if you start the PhD program from the University of Queensland, the value will be different. And if you start your studies from the Indian Institute of Technology, again, the value of the scholarship will actually be different. So these are program areas that are being actually covered, like health aging, feeding the world, resilient development, technology for tomorrow, and transforming societies. And so when you look at this, they actually subdivide the pathways into two. So there's what is called the I student, and then there's what is called the Q student. So the difference here is that the I students covers Indian students and international applicants. And so if you're going to apply as an international applicant or as an Indian student, they will be looking at your eligibility under the I students on the Quida website. And then if you are an Australian national, you are being considered as a domestic student. And so you will be applying under the Q student. And so your eligibility will be available on here. And in terms of how to apply, you basically want to refer to the how to apply section on that particular website for you to actually start your application. So that's another scholarship, friend. And then we have another scholarship here, which is building the next generation of mRNA drugs. And this is actually covering health in medicine. And it's also actually giving a living stipend, tuition fees, and in terms of the stipend, that is what you get for stipend. So you are basically fully funded on this particular project. And in terms of deadline, you can see that it's actually closing on the 9th of January, 2023. And this is the professor to contact if you are interested in this particular project. And again, you might want to read much more information about this scholarship, which you can do at your own time, and then look at the research environment in which you are going to be working if you were selected for this particular program. And in terms of the how to apply, you actually have more information highlighted here. And they're saying to be considered for this scholarship, please email the following documents to Associate Professor Timothy Nasser. And these are the cover letter, the CV, the academic transcripts, and the evidence of the University of Queensland's English language proficiency requirements, that is TOEFL or IELTS. So you can actually look at this scholarship at your own time. So we have more scholarships, friends, at this university because they have more projects that are running. So the next one is the development of analgesic loaded biodegradable polymer nanofibers for next generation pain relief surgical sutures. And again, you can see that this is actually covering living stipend and tuition fees. And the deadline is 9th January 2023. And this scholarship is for the duration of 2 years. So basically, this program is for an MPhil student, a student who is interested in, conducting research in this particular study area at the level of MPhil study. And so they actually highlight much more information here, which you can look at. And again, this will be the supervisor, Dr. Felicity Hunt. And then they also talk about the research environment. And you can actually see here that it's actually covering the Master of Philosophy degree. So those are scholarship, friends. So we go on to look at another scholarship. So the other scholarship is this one here. So that's the other scholarship. So on this scholarship, friends, we are basically looking at a scholarship again that covers living stipends, top-up fees, and the tuition fees. And in terms of the stipend, what is being given is actually a value of 34,938. This is really generous. And then there'll be a top-up of $5,000 per annum. And this is going to be for a period of 3.5 years. And these are the study areas, the different faculties: arts, humanities, social sciences, business and economics, computer science, and IT, education, engineering, and so forth. And then you can contact the doctor here with much more information about the scholarship highlighted here. And, you want to look at much more information here in terms of which projects are being done in this particular scholarship. And then, check your eligibility in terms of the Doctor of Philosophy program then prepare documentation, and then contact the supervisor to determine your suitability for that particular project. And then there's this scholarship again, which is actually from covering the study areas of arts, humanities, and social sciences. And again, this is a fully funded program. There's a supervisor there, a stipend, and the period is 3.5 years. You can actually see the deadline is 15 January for this one. You might want to jump on it. And so look at this scholarship at your own time. And it's being done in partnership with Queensland Health. So the University of Queensland doing a project in partnership with Queensland Health. And so when you read about this particular scholarship at your own time, then you can actually determine your interest in this particular scholarship and then reach out to the supervisor. But one thing that you want to pay attention to is that you'll be required to submit a 2-page overview with your application. And this should actually address why are you interested in this particular project? What challenges do you foresee in the project? And what special insights or capabilities you would bring to the project? How you see the project and PhD as part of your career trajectory. And then you'll be required to complete the interview process. And so this is something that you want to look at your own time. And then there is that scholarship there, which is saying automated penetration testing using improved deep reinforcement learning techniques. And so when you look at this, you'll find that this again is covering living stipend, tuition fees. And so again, you are actually fully funded here with a general stipend of 32,192 per annum. And then this is going to be for 3.5 years. It's open to domestic and international students. The deadline is in January 2023, and that is the supervisor there whom you can actually contact to declare interest. But before that, you want to read about the scholarship, the eligibility requirements, and the how to apply section. So they actually talk about in terms of the how to apply. You basically want to send your cover letter, your CV, your academic transcripts, and your English proficiency, certificates to the associate professor, Dr. Danny King. And then from there, you can be advised what to do next. And so we have a lot of scholarships here, friends, and you may want to actually take advantage of all these scholarships. So you can see here again, this is also a fully funded scholarship and it's covering the study area of engineering. So you want to read about, this scholarship, the research environment, the how to apply and determine your suitability. Another one is this scholarship here, which is looking at robotic manipulation. And then it's also coming from the School of Engineering, Computer Science, and IT. And the value is that it will cover living stipend, tuition fees, and it will be for a period of 3.5 years with a possibility of extension. And there is a generous stipend there, friends. So you might want to actually jump on this particular scholarship if you are interested in the projects that they are doing. So you may want to read much more about this scholarship. So basically, this highlights what this scholarship is all about and what projects are they working on. And then from there, you can actually determine your suitability. So I'll not really go into these details. These are things that you can actually look at your own time. And then there's this particular scholarship here, which is called Reef Catchment Science Partnership, Reef Science Innovation Scholarship. And it's covering study areas of environmental science and mathematics. And it's open for domestic and international students. It's again fully funded, covering living stipend, top up, as well as tuition fees. So when you look at the stipend, you can see that this is a general stipend range, 32,192 Australian dollars. And you are actually going to get a top up of $5,000 per annum as part of the scholarship, that is each year. And this is actually closing on the 27th of January 2023. And the supervisor has been highlighted there as Associate Professor Mike Wen. And you may want to actually read much more about this scholarship in terms of what projects is this scholarship covering. Am I, interested in this particular area? If anything, am I suitable for this particular, PhD program based on the experience I've amassed over the years? And then from there, you can actually reach out to the professor there to actually discuss your suitability for this scholarship, and then you can apply. And then we have additional scholarships here. So there's a PhD scholarship, which is development of 3D printed metal scaffolds to enhance bone ingrowth. So this is coming from the School of Engineering. So they're covering engineering. And again, it's actually fully funded. Living stipend, tuition fees. And this is a living stipend that will be given at the rate of 2023 rate. And they'll be given annually and for a period of 3.5 years with a possibility of extension. The deadline is actually 31st January 2023. So you can read much more information about this scholarship, and the how to apply is pretty much similar to what I talked about earlier on. And then there is this scholarship here, which is on farm genomics for selection and management of aquaculture. So this is covering our friends from the agriculture and animal sciences. And this again for domestic and international students. And the scholarship value in terms of stipend is 32,192 per annum. But again, in addition to this, the tuition fees are also covered. And the application will close on the 6th of February 2023. So if you are interested in this particular area, you might want to read about this scholarship, the research environment, the eligibility criteria, and the how to apply section so that you can actually begin applying for this scholarship. And then we have this indigenous-led development of bush food and ornamental products sourced from indigenous communities. And this scholarship, friends, it will be awarded to 2 students in the agriculture and animal sciences, business and economics, computer science and IT, environment, science, and mathematics. And it's again covering living stipend, tuition fees, and in terms of living stipend, you have a generous amount of 32,192 per annum. This is the 2023 rate, and this will cover 3.5 years, friends. And the deadline is 8th February 2023. And if you are interested in this particular field, you are basically looking at reading about this scholarship, reading about all these sections so that you can see and determine your suitability for this PhD opportunity. And then from there, you can actually apply for this scholarship. You can actually see that we still have much more scholarship opportunities here. There's this one here, which is called Directed Fuzzy Testing for Automated Software Bug Detection. And this is for our friends from computer science and IT. And again, this is fully funded, living stipend, tuition fees fully covered for a period of 3.5 years. And in terms of stipend, that is the amount that one will get. And the deadline in terms of applications is 15 February 2023. And you can actually contact Dr. Go Yang if you are interested in this particular scholarship. But before that, you might want to read about this scholarship, your eligibility criteria, and the how to apply section, and much more information in terms of the selection criteria. That way, you will be better placed even as you contact the professor or your potential supervisor. So when we look at additional scholarship opportunities here, we have what is called the development of a health economic model for a novel diabetes care ecosystem involving remote monitoring technology in the hospital and community setting. And so when you look at this, it's actually cross-cutting, covering themes of business and economics, health and medicine. And it's again fully funded, covering living stipend, tuition fees, and in terms of stipend, that is what one will get each year. And then this will be covered for a period of 3.5 years. And the deadline in terms of applications is 28th February 2023. Again, you can read much more information about this scholarship, the research environment, the eligibility criteria, and the how to apply section and the selection criteria, so that when you submit documents, you will be placing yourself at a competitive advantage with all other applicants. And then, in addition to all the scholarships we've looked at, there's this one called the low emission iron and steel making using hydrogen to pre-reduce lump iron ore. And so this is coming from the School of Engineering again, and the number of awards is 3, and covering both tuition fees and living stipend. You can actually see the amount in terms of stipend that one will get for a period of 3.5 years, but there's a possibility of extension here. And the deadline is 6th March 2023. So if you're coming from engineering, and when you read about this scholarship in terms of what is this focusing on, what is this project focusing on, then you determine your suitability, and from there on, you can actually read further on the how to apply section and the selection criteria, so that as you go ahead to contacting the supervisor, then you'll be able to see if you are putting yourself at a competitive advantage from all the other applicants, and then that way you'll be determining your suitability along with the supervisor for this particular project. And then the next one here is scalable and lightweight on-device recommender system. And this actually is coming from the School of Computer Science and IT. And friends, this is actually fully funded, covering living stipend, tuition fees, and in terms of the living stipend, that is the amount that you will get for a period of 3.5 years, with a possibility of one extension in line with the University of Queensland, policies. And then this actually opened on the 30th September 2022, and it will close on the 31st of March 2023. And you can actually contact Dr. Tong Chen about this particular opportunity. But before that, you might want to read about this scholarship, read about the research environment, look at the eligibility requirements for a higher degree by research at this particular university, and also look at the how to apply section. And then from there, you can, take it up. And the last scholarship in this series is the scholarship that actually is specifically to Colombia, and is actually called the Colombia Loan Scholarships. And if you do know someone from Colombia, you will basically do well to share this video with them, because this scholarship, friends, will actually be opening on the 10th of January 2023. And so if you are from Colombia and you are watching this video, you might want to add a reminder to your calendar about this scholarship. And one good thing is that actually it's covering all study areas, and it's actually covering postgraduate coursework programs, that is master's programs, as well as research-based programs, PhD programs. And it's actually going to be awarded based on one's previous academic excellence, experiences, and their potential for employability. And then when you look at this, you actually look at the value in terms of the scholarship. One will be able to receive up to 50,000, 50,000 US dollars. And then this is for those who are going to be at the postgraduate coursework. But for those that are going to be doing Ph.D. and MPhil programs, they can receive up to 300,000 US dollars for this particular, scholarship opportunity. And so for those in the postgraduate coursework master's program, they'll be funded for a period of 2 years, and then a maximum of 4 years for those doing research. And our deans have up to 2 years after completing studies to remain abroad for the purpose of work experience. So you can actually remain in Australia for 2 years, so that you can gain additional work experience after you have completed your program. So this is actually something that I just thought maybe we can add on the list of scholarships we're looking at on this particular video. And it will close once it opens on the 10th of January 2023. It will close on the 28th February 2023. And so again, you might want to give yourself a head start by looking at the eligibility requirements and the how to apply section if you are coming from Colombia. So this is actually specific to Colombia. So friends, this is something that I thought we could actually look at and share in terms of scholarship opportunities that are available at the University of Queensland. And so, as per promise, we have brought you, scholarship opportunities which you can take advantage of. And you actually have seen for yourself that there are generous scholarship opportunities at this particular university with a lot of projects going on. And so these projects are actually cross-cutting, covering different disciplines. And so you have no excuse for you to not pursue your further graduate studies. And so at your own time, friends, I'm going to leave the link to the pages for these particular scholarships so that you can actually explore them at your own time, do your own research, and then from there you can determine whether you would want to actually take advantage of these scholarship opportunities. For now, I would like to simply say thank you for watching this video, and if you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you know somebody that might be interested in any of the scholarship that we have shared in this particular video, please share this video with them. And if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please subscribe and go a step further by hitting that notification bell, selecting all notifications, so that when we upload videos of this nature, you will be amongst the first few to be notified of such opportunities. For now, I would like to simply say bye-bye for now until I see you in our next video.